Hey friends, Eric Zanatelli here, and I'm so excited to be talking with my friend Natascha Holloway up in Ponca City. So Natascha, you're a realtor. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and how long you've been an agent.
Man, what a loaded question, but I like it, Eric. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. I actually started my business in 2008. My first child was born in 2007, so I'll just give you a little history of how that mama and goes. But 2008, I started my business. I seen an ad in the newspaper, drove by a few houses and said, I bet I could do that because I want to see what every house in the city looks like. So that's what kind of motivated me. In 2009, I had my second kid, so that kind of sets the precedent for the age and how old my kids are now. But with starting that business, I pretty much just hustled from the ground up, and still alive, thriving in this business now and making a business out of it. I'm a full-time agent, and yeah, that's kind of where I got started. And so
Cool.
that probably puts me almost 15 years in the business.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then what geographic area do you predominantly work in?
So I'll be honest. Since I'm very local to Ponca City, Oklahoma, I will cover all the way up to the Kansas state line. Not licensed in Kansas at all, just licensed in Oklahoma only. And K County, Osage County. I've done a little in Payne County, Grant County. So I'll kind of cover some of those immediate counties within our area. For the most part, if somebody's moving out of state or moving southern Oklahoma, I have a lot of great friends around the United States that I will refer out.
Oh, cool. Yeah, yep, that works out good for people. I know that. What type of home buying client is your favorite and why? If you have one that you really like to work with.
Great question on the why, Eric, and I'll tell you why then, because I originally started my real estate career doing everything: farming, ranching, rentals, investments, you name it. I've kind of done it all, and I've personally done it. Me and my husband owned a remodeling company. Owned our own rentals. We've done our own flips. He now owns HI Roofing and Post Frame, which is another company that we have, and I'm an owner of as well. So we also build homes. So with that background, honestly, Eric, my favorite is probably investment. And then I like hobby farms. So those 10, 20 acres with a house, that's where I get really excited when I pull up to a listing.
Oh, cool. And what are people hobby farming in your area, or that you some of the experiences you had? That's a really interesting thing. You're the first person to bring this up.
Oh, okay. So to me, a hobby farm, because I've sold, 80 acres, a quarter section, which is 160 acres, or a half section, which is 320 acres versus the 640 acres, which are big, large farming. That's crops, that's cattle, that's the big thing. So when I talk about a hobby farm, I get down to somebody that has 10 to 20 acres. They're running 1 to 4 big cows. Per Oklahoma, one head of cattle is supposed to run on 5 acres. So some of those can have calves. They have a lot of calves, or they'll have goats, or they'll have pigs. A lot of those are pretty much in your 4-H and stuff of that nature because they're doing the livestock. So the kids are raising them. I
Cool.
wasn't predominantly big in that, but I love the hobby farms because usually they got a stream on them, they've got a small pond on them, they got a little bit of woods. Like we currently own 40 acres, and my kid loves to go in the back and hunt off of our 40-acre tract. So those are what I
Awesome.
call small hobby farms.
Cool. If someone thinking about buying a house today, what would be your advice to someone who's wanting to buy a home of their own today? Kind of the first thing you would want to talk to them about, or you would advise them?
So honestly, Eric, when somebody calls and say they want to buy a home today, I really like to get down to what's their why, where are they at in their life. I really kind of break down into age associated with, is this a newer kid that just got out of college, doesn't even have kids yet, or am I talking to somebody in their 40s where they just finally got to the point where they got stuck in the rental trap, and now they're back into, I've saved my money, I've done this over time, so I really want to go buy a house. Or are we buying another property for our mom? Are we buying a property for our kid? So I really like to hone in on why. Why are we buying this property and how can I help you? And then that helps me direct them to, the lender of choice that they need to go with and the type of property I'm looking for them and how I'm going to really help them execute this process.
Awesome. And then somebody thinking about listing their house or selling it, say, hey, Natascha, we're thinking about putting our house on the market. What are some of the first things that you suggest they do besides maybe have an in-depth conversation with you?
Well, instead of having that in-depth conversation, my first question is, why did you choose me amongst the others? Because that's something that helps me understand what I can do better for others and sets me apart from all the other agents. But somebody that does that, I really say, okay, great. Tell me your perspective of what you're selling, what your house is, and then let's set up a time that I can visually put my own eyes, because sometimes as a customer, we like to tell us what we think is great about our property, but when I get to their property, I can really hone in on the sale of the property and what the public's going to see and what the value is going to be associated with that property. Because I have had a lot of clients that when I get there, I can see more value associated with their location. And that's just one thing that I really highly look at as well.
Awesome. And right now, how's the real estate market going in Kay County and the surrounding area?
Man, this might be a tough market. We had COVID the last couple of years, and we had a lot of West and East Coast coming in and flushing us with cash. And so that was a great market for a lot of sellers and a lot of buyers because the 2% interest rates were going on. So as you know, I'm a pretty seasoned agent. So I came in 2008, so I've seen the 07, the 09,
exactly.
Just the roller coaster all the way down until we all wanted to get off the ride, right? So What I like to tell people is, hey, hold on tight. It's still going to be a great market. Yes, I hear you. The interest rates they came up to that 6 and 7, but hold on because this is traditional. Honestly, when me and my husband bought, we had a 15 to 20% interest rate. So you don't know any different. And I'd rather spend that money on that interest rate than paying somebody else for a house that I will never own.
Exactly. Yeah. Awesome. So if somebody watches this video and says, I need to talk to Natascha, how do they get a hold of you, my friend?
Well, I hope that my marketing is great enough that they don't have to look so far. But if not, my phone number is 580-716-8998. And I do have a great email, and it's J for Justin, my husband, N for Natascha, Holloway, which is my last name, HOLLOWAY, at thewonderfulkw.com. And it's just at kw.com. I'm just saying.
All right. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, hey, I appreciate you very much. Is there anything else you'd like to add real quick before we wrap this up?
I appreciate you, Eric. It's a great market that we're in, and we have the opportunity to serve a lot of great people just with our passion. So I do appreciate you, and I appreciate this interview.
Yeah, thank you. I hope you have a good afternoon, my friend.
You're welcome. You too. Thank you.